Hello, my dear students. In this video, we will be talking about reasoning. So at the end of this video, you are expected to differentiate between the two kinds of reasoning, the inductive and deductive reasoning, and use these two kinds of reasoning in an argument. Now, in real life, we often give reasons, right? Especially when we want to defend ourselves in some situations or when we conclude something. Now, in doing this, we use previous experiences, knowledge, situations, patterns, and so on to make conclusions. But do you know that being able to reason is essential to understanding mathematics? Yes, reasoning is a very important skill in mathematics because it helps us make valid and reliable conclusions and prove different mathematical concepts. So this time, we will be discussing about the two types of reasoning. We have the inductive reasoning and the deductive reasoning. Now I have here sets of examples. What you're going to do is to find the pattern to complete the given statements or to find the next figure, statement, or term needed in each example. First, we have A, B, E, F, I, J, M, N. Now, what should be written on the next blank? I will give you 10 seconds. The correct answer is it's QR. Why? What's the pattern? These are letters on the English alphabet, so you have to take two consecutive letters, then skip the two next letters, then copy again the two next, then keep on doing this pattern until we find QR. So here we have AB, we skipped CD, then we take again EF, we skip GH, then we take IJ, we skip KL, we take MN, we skipped OP, and so we have QR. Did you get the correct answer? Well, that's nice. Let us have another example. My mathematics teacher is strict. My previous mathematics teacher was strict. Tita's mathematics teacher was strict too. Now, what can you say about mathematics teachers? 10 seconds. Very good. Based on the three given situations, we can say that mathematics teachers are strict. Take note, this is only based on the given situations. But it doesn't mean that all mathematics teachers are really strict. Now, if you had observed on those two given examples, we used patterns to find for the conclusion. That reasoning is called inductive reasoning. So by definition, it is the process of observing data, recognizing patterns, and making conjecture from observations. So it uses specific examples to arrive at a general rule, generalizations, or conclusions. So it's from specific to general, from examples to a conclusion. Let us have more examples. have the numbers 1, 4, 10, 19, 31. Now, if the pattern continues, what will be the next number? 10 seconds. What's your answer? You're right. The correct answer is 46. The pattern is simply adding the multiples of 3 to each number. So we have 1 plus 3, that's 4. Then add the next multiple of 3, that's 6. 4 plus 6, we have 10. After 6, we have 9. So 10 plus 9, that's 19. And after 9, we have 12. So 12 plus 19 is 31. And after 12, we have 15. So that's 31 plus 15. So we have 46. Next example. Look carefully at the figures. What will be the next figure? Draw your answers on a sheet of paper. I will give you 15 seconds to answer this. Okay, time's up. Did you find the pattern? Okay, let us see. For figures, you have to look for the similarities and differences of each figure. Because the first thing you must do is to copy all things common to those figures. Of course, the first thing common to them is the square that encloses the whole figure. And then each figure has a diamond inside the square. Also, a horizontal line that cuts the square into two. Now, the difference is only the shaded part of the figure. It's from upper left to upper right, then lower right. So it should be followed by the lower left because the shaded triangle is in clockwise direction. So the shaded region now must be on the lower left part of the figure. So we have this one. Did you get the correct answer? Very good. Now for the next examples, you will not be asked to find the pattern because there will only be two statements or premises or facts. But still, you have to find for a conclusion. Now, what should you do? Let's have the first one. All men are mortal. Aristotle is a man. Now, what can you conclude? 10 seconds. Very good. We can say that Aristotle is mortal. How did you do that? Since it was stated that all men are mortal, that means if you are a man, then you are a mortal. So since Aristotle is a man, then he is mortal. So the conclusion here is Aristotle is mortal. Let us have another example. A is equal to B and B is equal to C. What can you conclude now? Again, I'll give you 10 seconds. What's the correct answer? You're right. It's A equals C or A is equal to C. Can you remember the property used in making conclusions on examples like this? What property is it? You're right. It's the transitive property. Now, these two last examples made use of two general statements or facts to make a conclusion. And we call this deductive reasoning. So it's reaching a conclusion by combining known truths to create a new truth. It uses basic and or general statements to arrive at a conclusion. So this is already from general to specific. Let us have more examples. The acute angles are smaller than 90 degrees. The angles of an equilateral triangle are 60 degrees. Now what can you conclude? Again, I'll give you 10 seconds. Now what's the correct answer? It's the angles of an equilateral triangle are acute angles. I hope you got the correct answer. Why? Because it was stated that the angles of an equilateral triangle are 60 degrees. And take note, acute angles are smaller than 90 degrees. So if it measures 60 degrees, then that means it's smaller than 90 degrees. So it follows that it is an acute angle. 60 degrees is an acute angle. Therefore, we have to conclude that the angles of an equilateral triangle, since they measure 60 degrees, then they are acute angles. So that's it. Let's have the last example. A cobra is a snake. A cobra is cold-blooded. Now what can you conclude? What's your answer? You got it right. We have a snake is cold-blooded. The technique for deductive reasoning is to simply combine the two statements by removing the common facts or phrase. Now, since both pertains to cobra, then we can say that a snake is cold-blooded. So that is all about the two types of reasoning, the inductive and deductive reasoning. So before we end, remember that there are two types or kinds of reasoning. First, we have the inductive reasoning, which makes use of sets of examples generating the pattern to find the conclusion. And the other one is the deductive reasoning, which makes use of two general statements or facts to find for the conclusion. So that's all. Thank you for watching.